So I also wanted to talk about the Joe Rogan clip where he's on Tom Green like 100 million years ago, and
That's
Tom
right.
Green has this kind of like goofy show where he's talking to people over the internet, and he's explaining to Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan is like, "Whoa, this is like the future, bro." Let's play that clip. Let's jump in, and then we'll have some commentary.
Dude, I think this is fucking awesome.
Thank you, man. See, no, I mean,
This is the craziest thing ever.
I was just, to me, it gets fun when I just can sit here and just be the kind of computer guy and set you up with some calls here. Because you know how excited, you think it's cool for us. Think how cool it is for some kid who just gets to call up and talk to his favorite comedian on the air, look him right in the eyes, and have a goofy conversation. Okay,
so
cool.
you're connected.
You're
connected.
connected. It really is different, you know,
Yeah.
than television.
This
or
is
anything.
way better.
It's like radio, but it's like television, and the genre is different because we can sit here and round. You know, there isn't that time constraint. You know, there isn't that pressure. I mean, you know, we want to keep it moving.
Well, not
obviously,
only
but,
that,
you know,
there's not a corporate pressure. See,
Yeah.
the thing that f***ed up television, the thing that f***ed up entertainment in general, is money. They were selling advertising, so everybody has to say certain words, don't say certain words, don't bring up certain subjects. You can't just express yourself because you're expressing yourself to someone who's selling advertising space, and that's all it. And that f***ed up everything. It doesn't make anything good.
We need a f***ed up advertiser around here. That's all.
You just need to keep doing this.
So that clip was 2007 when he was on the Tom Green House Tonight show, apparently, which was the thing.
Let me ask you a question. What immediately what is your feeling when you watch that video? Because I had a strong emotional reaction to that video, strangely. What's your feeling when you watch that video?
One, it's interesting for me just like how dumb Joe Rogan used to read. He used to read just total like bro, knucklehead, meathead,
Broner,
like
stoner
dumb,
bro.
dumb. Yeah, and also Tom Green, never funny. Wasn't funny then, still isn't funny now.
Not once.
I'm hung up on those impressions.
Freddie got fingered.
Rogan has like all of a sudden he has aged very well.
Oh my God! I know he almost looks better now than he did in that. Like
I think he does, dude.
I think he does too. Just goes to show you, dude. Daily vitamin IVs and like having some Navy SEAL with his boot halfway up your ass every day.
Yeah, the T-drip going. Yep.
That's right, dude. I'll tell you what the first thing I felt. It made me kind of sad because because Tom Green has this energy. He's just got this consummate good boy energy, and which isn't part of his performative persona, but as somebody that's followed him for his entire career, like it is a huge part of his personal persona, and like does really seem like a dude that is kind of obsessed with, I don't know, just being a good dude and being helpful, and is just beleaguered by his unbelievable strangeness. You know what I mean? And like, I think to me, the sad part was seeing Tom Green pioneer this thing, and you can see all of this. Like, I guess kind of reminded me of myself in a certain way, where it's like he's brought all of these disparate technological elements together to try to create something brand new, very hyper modern. He's pioneering this field, and he has zero market share in it now, you know? And then it also made me kind of sad in a certain way, where I'm like, hey, Rogan, if this guy is the guy that put you on game to the idea of doing your podcast, maybe toss him a fucking bone, because I remember when he was on Rogan and it was very like, you know, hey, but like, this is the guy that like basically is the Masons, is the keystone of your entire empire, you know, like the guy that puts you on game to the idea. I mean, I don't know, right? Like, he's got to have some facility to be able to help the guy get a broader platform or more equity.
I mean, I don't think
space.
Tom Green is like doing badly for himself. I'm sure
he kind of is. No, he kind of is. Yeah, because not really, but like he's
okay. Like, to go back to my point, he is a nice guy, and he is not funny. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I will consume nothing he ever puts out because I don't think he's that talented or funny. I think he had he has good ideas, and he's very endearing, and like I totally like him as a person. I have zero against. But like, dude, when I go for like someone who's entertaining, he is the bottom. Even all of his movies to me, like they were trying to be like Tim and Eric, but they just like were not Tim and Eric. Awesome show or what? You know what I mean? He's trying to do that comedy, and none of it lands for me.
Well, I mean, he was first to the table. You know, I mean, like that brand of absurdism.
Let me talk about like, yeah, okay, totally true. I am being unfair.
He was like such a pioneer in absurdist comedy. I mean, there wouldn't be a Tim and Eric if there wasn't a Tom Green.
Is that true? Is that
yeah, 100%.
Okay, if that is true, I will give him mad props because I do like that brand of comedy, whatever the hell it is. Like Steve Brule, I've never laughed so much in my life as like watching Steve Brule clips to this day. Watch those clips, I'm like just, oh man, rolling. Okay, well, the thing that like jumps out at me, I guess, that's like productive to talk about in terms of the Tom Green clip there, was that he explicitly says, oh yeah, like we're on our own time. We can just like hang out and chill and no one's like telling us what to talk about or how long we can take to talk about this. That seems, and that was like the bell, I think, more than anything that went off in Joe Rogan's mind. Dude, this is like cool thing.
Yeah, and, man, no corporate, nobody's telling us what to talk about, man.
That clip was 2007. 2009 is when the Joe Rogan experience started.
Right.
So yeah, like a very short time span between that and that. Very interesting. It's very intriguing to me. And like another thought that just jumps out to my mind is what's
next
happening now where, and I guess it was TikTok, like a Vine and then TikTok. Because, you know, Vine was a big thing that was TikTok, and then Twitter bought it and then killed it, which is, you know, there's a history there too, I know. But like, so that was the next thing. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens next. I do think podcasts are here to stay.
Definitely.
Voice, like listening to people's voices is so intimate, and we're never, unless we change species, like we're always going to love that. But yeah, like Clubhouse was almost it. There was almost a moment when Clubhouse was going to like be the new cool thing. There is Spaces in Twitter that is kind of like the new Clubhouse, so that's a new like iteration. But yeah, we're not done with this like evolution of like new getting away from corporate media. Because now, like, sorry to just ramble here, but like now corporate entities are podcasting. So it's come full circle in that sense that like name a guy on a news channel and like they also have their own like podcast right now. Like Megyn Kelly,
presidential candidates have done a huge circuit of podcasts.
Oh yeah.
The candidates for president of the United, is like really hit me the other day hard, where I was like, the most powerful person in the world will be in 2 weeks, and they will have been on 10 podcasts this year, regardless of which one of them it is. I was like, that is so. It is so beautiful. It is such a cool democratization of the media landscape, and like. Man, I think we're really coming into a time where, who knows? I mean, it could be awesome having such a democratized kind of information stream, but then as AI deepfake gets more advanced, I mean, that could be also like another quicksand pit that we're walking into as well. I'm usually such a techno optimist, but this one does have me kind of like split on the fence. We'll see how it shakes out one way or the other, because right now it's amazing coming out of a 3-channel world into a 3 million channel world is for us as like, you know, people that grew up. I mean, I still had a TV when I was a little kid that had, you know, 10 channels clicking through on the dial, and now you can find out what's going on in Gaza from somebody that's like getting bombed. You know what I mean? And like that's pretty potent, but it's really a short honeymoon period that we're going to have before there's just a lot, I think probably a deluge of disinformation out there in the same vein. So
can I say one just final thought?
Yeah.
Just on that, because I haven't said it yet today, although it's like jumped into my brain like a bunch. I'm actually kind of shocked how little deepfakes, etc., have influenced this election cycle. Because I do remember a couple years ago, you and I were talking about like, it's going to be all over the place. It's going
Yeah,
to be
yeah, yeah.
insanity. Like, we're never going to
Right.
know what truth is. And it's
Uh-huh.
like, something gets spread, it takes like 30 seconds to check it. You know what I mean? It's not even
Yeah,
a
yeah.
minute. Because I saw that uh, Walls, like there was a video of him like how he raped some dude when he was a
Whoa.
teacher.
Crazy. Oh, I saw that.
One,
Yeah, yeah,
there's a
yeah. Yeah,
community
yeah.
note on it, so like
Yeah.
there's that. But then
Yeah.
like two, you can just look at the video, tell it's not quite, there's something off about it, and
Yeah.
then like you can just Google it. Like
Yeah,
no
yeah,
one is
yeah.
fooled by this shit, and if you are fooled by it, you deserve to be voting for the wrong person because you're an idiot.
Yeah, there's enough wild truth to peddle still that I don't know that people really need to be digging up falsehood. Like the amount of creative energy that goes into creating like an advanced falsehood. I mean, you could really probably spend a quarter of that and just dig up something true that's just as crazy to, and proves your point
Yeah,
just as
I mean,
well.
all of this is to say is that the landscape is crazy right now, but given what we were thought it was going to be, I'm unimpressed with how like crazy it
Dude,
is.
that
I think that we built it up almost too much.
older people always say that to me, where they're like, I thought it would be, I mean, in the 80s, they were writing about the year 2000, right?
Yeah.
Like all this sci-fi shit happening in the year. I've heard that from countless older people by now, where they're like, it doesn't go as fast as you think. Like
Yeah.
it does go pretty fast. And like, yeah, over 50 years, you look back and you're like, wow, that's pretty different. They're like, we're also still driving cars. Like we thought the cars would be flying by now, or we thought we'd have some other crazy invention by now. And it's like, nah, humans are really just kind of iterative. We're just generally like an iterative species. We like things to like go one step at a time, or really
Or
that's all we
like the
can do,
parallel
maybe.
would also be back in the day, early founding of the country. You could just write anything, make a little pamphlet, and put it out there. And like a lot of early newspapers were just full of like utter fantasy, like
Totally.
sold as truth, and there was no way to fact check it. So you just just go with it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it is I guess my final thought will kind of piggyback on my last, which is that I think the two forces that we'll have at play are like the good AI and the bad AI, right? Like we're going to have AI that
Yeah.
is generative for nefarious purposes, and I'm sure we'll have AI that's protective of the generative stuff that's been, you know what I mean? And so it's like, I wonder if that's the new arms race is how fast does generative AI become, the dominant modality of creation, the dominant modality of like, generating information. And then conversely, are we developing tools at the same time that help us identify the fingerprint and the footprint of AI? And the answer right now is yes. The answer right now is that we're almost shockingly concerned about things that have been AI influenced. I mean, like there's so many platforms now that'll put a node or a tag, and there's all of these different platforms that'll scan something for, whether it's been generated using AI. And so I'm like, okay, we're keeping pace. From a civilian perspective, we only know a bit.
And Devon, we don't even have the Russell Brand amulet yet. So we're doing pretty
Guys,
good to not even have
head
the
over
amulet.
to the Patreon we haven't created yet and subscribe at the highest tier that we also haven't created yet, so that we can get this Russell Brand amulet. This is gonna be our hobby horse on this show until we reach the Russell Brand amulet level of subscriptions.
I think in American money is like $230. So give us some money, guys. We'll get the
not a
amulet,
high
then we'll know
bar.
the truth.
Dude, we must possess the amulet.
All right, man.
All right,
Good
Pete.
talks. Hey, till next time.
Right on, brother. Later.